You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, on Alternative Talk 1150 AM. Now, back to the show with local mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell.
You are listening to The Money Hour at 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, September 17th show. You can also listen to my show podcast, Facebook premiere, or you can catch my show on my show YouTube channel. In addition, for more information on my upcoming events, please visit TinaMitchellEvents.com. I am your host and your local mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell. I'm here to help you build a strong financial blueprint, 1 week and one show at a time. If you're hearing my show at a different time of day, you are listening to a rebroadcast. I'm here to answer any questions or to connect you with the two guests that I have on the show today. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150, or you can go online to themoneyhour.com. And now in studio, Lynn Herkes of WOWSuccessTeam, Bizness Engineer, right here at 1150 AM KKNW. And I was trying to give that business, Lynn, appropriate to how it's spelled out in your introduction today. Thank you again for being here with my listeners.
Thank you for having me.
On that note, can you explain what business engineering is?
Well, I don't have a short explanation, but basically I am an engineer. I'm degreed, practiced, and all that. And I was trying to be a consultant and actually think I was better off going back to my engineering. So I've taken my engineering and my project management and business management skills, and I've honed my consultation business to work on projects in an engineering aspect. So I actually fix things that are broken or create things that work better, whether that has to do with software or just teaching you how to use the things that you have, or find you the right people and training you how to use them.
Yeah, and we've talked in the panel conversation about a great balance in your individual businesses, and it is very unique and very special to have an actual degree engineer come in and be the front of the business and the person that you're actually talking with that's consulting and coaching you through your system. So very excited that you brought those two together and are having so much success in your business, Lynn. And that's why I like to continue to bring you back into studio to showcase what you do with my listeners. So Lynn, how do you help small businesses?
So I like to take people who have started, but they're growing. The perfect case would be a solopreneur who's gotten to the point where they need more. They've grown so much that they're a little overwhelmed and they're trying to take on more clients or more help. And they just don't know how to do it because a lot of solopreneurs don't know how to do it. They've not necessarily had employees before or had applications. And then I help them put those applications, software, all the pieces of their marketing and their business, their operations, and I help them find the right people to help them grow.
Yeah, because if you don't have an assistant, you are your assistant. If you don't have a marketing director, you are your marketing director. And if you don't have someone in behind the scenes that can help engineer the perfect system, you're trying to figure out all on your own. And I'm here to tell you right now, you can't be successful and do it all on your own. Or if you are an outlier and you actually are a leader in your space and you're on your own, you have no quality of life. And this show is really about being the best of the best at what you do and living the best life at the same time by hiring people to come in and help you accomplish that. So Lynn, how did you decide to pivot your business engineering from consulting? We talked a little bit in our panel conversation, but can you expand on that?
Yes. So I met up with you and I met up with another lady who is amazing and realized that my strength wasn't in, my strength is in puzzle solving, in problem solving, and I just need to embrace it and not, and then like you always say, hire out your weaknesses, do your strengths. And I was convinced of my strengths, even though I knew what they were buried. So I finally said, no, I'm going to do what I'm good at, and I'm going to try to hire out and come up with a balance And that's what made me decide to take a pivot. I was doing it all myself for 8 years, and that was not working at all.
And it's great and thank you again for the shout out, Lynn, and getting a chance to spend quality time with you through my program, and the inspiration that you have been for me as well in my business, just being around you. And again, showcasing your business and hearing everything that you have and advice for your clients. And it's great when you've gone through your own struggles, because through your own struggles or through your own realization of what you should be doing, then you can really educate and help people find that out for themselves. And so another gift that you bring in to your business for sure. So Lynn, what is the coolest part about what you do? And why do you always have a smile on your face? And I know you love what you're doing now that you're in this space. So what's the coolest thing about it?
The coolest thing for me is when someone says, I just can't figure out how to do this, and I'm so frustrated, and I don't want to be spending time on this. And I come up with a solution, and they're like,
oh, Lynn, you just went on mute. I love it when
I'm
we
sorry.
accidentally hit ourselves on mute. So you're a producer / engineer. He just makes the magic happen.
I thought she was beeping herself. She was going to say something horrific. I'm like, whoa, she got herself.
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's funny. No,
So when somebody's
when
stuck and you naturally come in. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when I find the solution and they find out that the solution is so easy, I just love the look on their face. I love the look on their face.
So if you're listening to the show right now and you're racking your brain and something has you stuck, that means you need to bring somebody in that's gifted in that area and naturally just have a solution because they've already figured that piece out. So yeah, that would definitely be the coolest part of your business. I can understand that. So Lynn, why do small businesses need a business engineer?
Well, I think because there are so many shiny objects that they pick something, 2 or 3 things, and then they don't understand why those 2 or 3 things aren't either making them more efficient or bringing in a better ROI. And it's because not everybody has that ability in the background to do what they're good at for their business and figure out that puzzle. So that's what I'm good at, and that's what I like to help people do, so that then they can move on and they can have that successful business.
Yeah, they can do what they love to do, and not only knowing exactly what system that they need, but also you help your clients with understanding how to utilize that system for their business, because that CRM or I like to call it an opportunity manager or your system manager, it's going to work differently, and the functionality of that is going to be utilized differently depending on your business and what you're trying to accomplish with your business. Correct, Lynn?
Yes.
And so again, having somebody from the outside that has an engineer background and can just magically figure that out in a very short period of time takes a lot of stress off of you. So again, you can go out and focus on building the business and having the quality of life that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So Lynn, what is the most important part of what you offer to businesses?
I think the value, because I really don't think that people realize that those things can all be connected and solved. I think the value of just having someone do it for you and not, raking you over the coals with the price to get it connected, is usually what people tell me when they're happy with what I do, is they say, oh my gosh, this value for what you're doing is amazing. So
yeah, and you use the word connected because what you're doing is you're helping them connect those dots, correct?
Yeah.
So Lynn, how does a business know if they need your help?
So usually I think the first thing is if they're struggling at all with time, or they're struggling at all pulling their hair out with tech, or if they're struggling with people, like people who are working for them, VAs, then just come talk to me. I give a free complimentary consultation where I dig deep and find out what your problems are. And usually there's a solution for all of them.
Yeah.
So that's usually how I can help if they need help.
So if you're listening to the show right now, I would give you a challenge. Just have a notepad next to you during your working hours. And every time that you feel emotional stress, just take a second and make a note of what you're doing right there in that moment. Move on, go back to your business. And at the end of the day, take a look and calculate those things that you're doing. And then that's where you know that you need help to come in and step in, because I believe that each business owner, every business needs somebody to step in and fill the gaps somewhere, and multiple somewheres, right, Lynn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you work in person with your clients, virtually, or both?
Both. I do both.
So you'll meet your clients wherever their needs are.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And it's really great with the virtual. And I think virtual is actually more efficient as a time management business efficiency coach in what you're doing, because you're actually getting into systems. Maybe something more like for myself as a mortgage consultant, talking to people about mortgages. A lot of my clients obviously take advantage of virtual versus in person. But in person might be more connecting to the message for them, whereas you doing the screen share and really getting into their tools, I would think virtual is going to be more efficient for a business owner. And you work literally all over the world, Jess?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I do usually find that after the first or second meeting, even if they really want it in person, they usually just go, oh no, just go do whatever you do. And
yeah,
virtual's fine.
Yeah, you have that connection and build the confidence, and then it's like, we're good. Yeah, good to go from there. So, Lynn, what do you feel are the biggest challenges for today's small business owners?
Shiny object syndrome. Yeah. There are so many things that you can sign up for. Everything from CRM to marketing to ads to websites. There's just so much out there. It's like going to a new car lot and they're all across the street from each other. And you're like, which one? And there's no way of knowing unless you do your research or you come across someone who's going to give you an overview of what the different ones offer you. Yeah. You have to do your research on your own. And I'd like to offer everybody the research so that they can make the good decisions.
Yeah. And then make sure when you're engaging in that process with Lynn that you look on your calendar and what you really have time to implement into your business, and work on implementing one thing at a time. It doesn't mean that you're going to complete your CRM and the functionalities of how you're going to utilize that before you move to making adjustments to your website or something else, but you're only working on one of those at a time before you move over and then move back to another one. And, really your calendar says what you can and what you have time to do. And just know that those, like Lynn said, not signing up for all those shiny items, and not signing up for too many at one time. Just engage and follow the expert, and where someone like Lynn can lead you in what you need for your business, what's most important and what's most urgent now, what's going to maximize your revenue and minimize the effort for you and the team that supports you. And if you missed, as I was talking with Lynn today, she also helps in coordinating and how to embrace your strengths and hire out your weaknesses. Where do you put those weaknesses and where do you find those resources for that? So again, Lynn is really a true engineer at spirit, heart, and expertise, and brings it into her business so that she can really help you set up a system that's going to be most efficient and one timing, right?
Yes.
And thank you again so much for coming back into studio, taking your precious time to share with my listeners. And as always, I look forward to having you back again and sharing more on everything that you do with your business. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Tina, for everything.